This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Lovely stuff.
Hey, lovely, lovely.
Tell you what though, folks, that's bloody nice. That is bloody lovely.
Lovely Holland. Lovely touch. Lovely Holland. Lovely touch.
Oh my god, right. I never know how to start these things.
I think just go, hey,
Hey.
how you doing? Welcome to the
you?
lovely show.
Yeah, I like, I've been told before I have a hello, how are you face, but you don't
You don't have a
appreciate
hello,
that.
how are you voice.
Yeah,
You have a goodbye.
yeah, good luck.
Good luck. All right, good luck. I'll talk to you.
I'm away. I love in Dundalk, there's a big thing painted just on this wall. Gorgeous graffiti that just says, I'm away now. It's so Dundalk.
away now.
I'm away now.
Did I talk about this before? Why I like smoking cigarettes?
No.
We're sponsored by Lovely Fags. I love cigarettes because, I was at a wedding and you go out to the smoking area and a cigarette is like an egg timer for a conversation.
Yeah, you're dead right.
That like you can talk to a stranger, he's smoking a cigarette, they're smoking a cigarette. If this conversation is shite, I can walk away as soon as I finish. As soon as this fag is done, I can say, all right, good luck,
Yeah.
and walk away. You cannot do that in any conversation in polite society. But if you're enjoying the conversation, you light up another
You'll
one.
get another one going. And this is the thing, I know my friend was out once and his boss was out and he was like, I've never seen a man suck on a
Yeah.
smoke quicker in my life. I was like, you are wasted being straight.
Yeah, I remember telling this to somebody and then they got really sad and they were like, oh, right, okay. And I was like, why are you so sad? And they're like, oh, I just remember I met Eddie Izzard once and he was out smoking a cigarette and I went up and I was like, I want to be cool. I don't want to be like gushy.
know.
And I went, hey, Eddie, how you doing? Just want to say I'm a big fan of your work. And he just went, cheers, man. And he put out a full cigarette into the ashtray and walked back inside.
Oh, there's more insulting him.
At least finish the cigarette, man.
But also, he went through the rest of his life not knowing until you brought it up.
Until I brought it up.
Yeah, he was like, I
He
had
was
the
like,
best.
I just thought Eddie
interaction.
Izzard just like smoked a quarter of a fag.
I convinced Eddie to stop smoking. That man never smoked again in his life. I have such respect for smokers now, though, because when I was vaping and I'm 6 months clean, 6 months off them,
Yeah.
and I'll never go back, hopefully. You can vape anywhere.
You can vape
I
pretty
would
much
wake
anywhere.
up and I'd have it under the pillow. I'd be like, fresh air. Like,
You
what
could
a sad.
You could vape in a children's hospital.
You could.
Yeah.
You'd be a vapist.
You could vape during a wedding.
Yeah.
Just like they're reading the vows. You're just like
On your bloody strawberry ice. You're like, what is this? I saw.
blowing watermelon sugar into the air.
It's the grimmest. And I look back now, I have such respect for smokers, which is a thing I never thought I'd say. But I do, because you have to go out in all weathers. You can't just have it up your sleeve.
You're slowly killing yourself to look cool.
Yeah.
So like cigarettes are great. Like they will remove minutes off your life, but they'll also remove minutes of bad conversations. And like how much, like if you're 80 years old lying in your deathbed, you're really going like, God, I'd love to last another 20 minutes.
Do you know what? Last time I was in hospital in A&E at one point, and there was a man, and his lungs were fucked altogether. And the nurse came over and she's like, "Are you sure now?" And he's like, "Yeah." She had to wheel him out because he still wanted to smoke. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Sure, why not?"
Why not? At that stage, I'd do heroin.
Oh, this is always the thing people say, but I'm like, I think I would just go back onto the vapes.
Come on, Justine. You got one last shot. That's your last prison meal.
I know, but the whole thing of
And you want a
Norm
little bubblegum puff?
MacDonald used to say, like, his granny would be like, I'll do heroin when she's
Yeah.
old. He's like, she would get bruised by the wind.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, how is she ever going to be able to do heroin? You're like, yes, exactly true.
What are we up to this week?
Well, I had to go home to go to the doctor because, let me tell you, it was time for my smear test, which was a very...
You still do smear tests in Nobber.
Yeah.
Why?
I go home because the GP is nice there.
There's nice, Justine, and then there's like, I'd like to leave some mystery to this relationship.
I know. And the problem is, when I went in, my dad was also in the doctor. So
Getting his smear test for himself.
Oh, he's Justin and I'm Justine, as you know. Which, by the way, I have to defend him here. I think it was lovely that he did that. I don't think it's arrogant. I think it's nice to pass down a family name.
That's fine. Agree to disagree.
Yeah, lovely. That was very respectful. Fair play. If I had to smoke, I'd be putting it out right now and walking away. But I was down there and my father was in, and it was just the weirdest thing. It's like, you know, when you're home and your parents see you at the doctor and they're thinking,
What's wrong?
"Oh, what's wrong with her? Is she pregnant or what's going on?" You know? And I'm like, literally, that smear was the most action I've had in literally 2.5 months. It's the only action I've had, which is
Wow.
grim for me.
That is grim.
It really is. But when I went in, I just don't know if they need the small talk, right? Because she's putting the speculum up into you.
That's the little duck thing.
A big, like a cone.
Does it look? It looks like a duck, though, doesn't it?
A bit,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Does
I
it?
don't really
Can
look
you?
at it.
Can you go quack 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 with the instrument I'm talking about?
No.
I'm thinking of a different duck.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's
Right.
a Calvin Jack or something. I don't know what that is. But speculum, yeah, is in, yeah. And then she just asked me, like, any holidays planned? I'm like, the only...
No, not really. No. Jeez, the prices of flights and the Aer Lingus. Oh, God, the Aer Lingus strike at the moment. It'd be risky enough.
What in the name of God am I meant to say? Like, the only travel I want to do is out of this room in 20 seconds when this is over. You're like, this is so grim. And I remember I went to one in Dublin. I had to go get another gynecological thing done, right? And it wasn't in my local number. So I was like, right, I don't know these people. But I went in and your one had a yoke up me. And then she's like, your surname's Stafford. I'm a Stafford too. I wonder if we're related. And I'm like, can you tell by looking down there? I don't know. I was like, why would you bring that up?
She's like, oh, actually, no, you're the Westmead in Staffords. Oh, yeah. I recognise you now.
Like, even when I was in there getting this, she's like, oh, your cervix is hiding away up there. I'm like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's not a barber.
No.
You don't need to make barber chat when you're down there. Just get it done and get out as quick as possible.
Honest to God, it was... Yeah, so I don't know if I will go home in future to get it done.
I would say definitely not. I'd say anything below the waist, do it in Dublin.
Yeah,
Because
true.
nobody knows your name.
Well, you would think that. And then someone's trying to figure out if we're related. I'm like, Jesus
Or
Christ.
they're like, I know you from the YouTubes. Are you in the Try channel?
Yeah, but did you recognise my face? Or...
Would you ever do Try channel, try different smear tests? Like lads as well. Martin and Golo has to do it.
yeah.
Ryan Cullen.
Oh, Lord above, Jesus. Yeah, no, I realised in that moment I don't think I'm going to go home for those appointments
Yeah, no,
anymore.
definitely
And I
don't.
had to, because I had to get bloods though then as well. And she's like, I'm going to have to check your liver function. And I'm a bit wary about the results on that.
Oh, you haven't got them yet?
No, but you know when they ask you, like, how much would you drink in a week?
You lie.
You lie, but you're even still lying in like a... You're trying to be a bit more honest in the lie, but you still can't be fully honest.
It's equivalent to doing confessions as a child,
That's exactly it.
where like you give them really twatty small ones, like I pulled my sister's hair,
Yeah.
I stole a toy car. Whereas like you actually did awful stuff,
Mm-hmm.
awful things that would make a priest blush. You're terrified of telling the truth, so you dilute it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we do the same with doctors and drink. So what did you tell them you drink a week?
So
why
they
me
were
ask
like units, and I was like,
Units.
you know the unit thing. I was like, I was like, I wouldn't understand. What does that mean per se? I was like, well, you know, a pint would be 1 to 2 units.
Pint to be 1 to 2. Well, I mean, which is it? Because I mean, you're talking double figures
Talking
there.
double now.
Yeah,
So I said I have about 8.
8 a week.
Yeah. 8 a night, I'll be doing well.
You
Like,
do 8. Like that's if you're on antibiotics.
Yeah.
You do 8.
I'm going handy, taking it easy now. So I fear for the results of that coming back.
because I
Just
got
like-
tested and my doctor was like, "You're in great shape," and I was like, "How?"
That's unbelievable. I tell you, it's the butcher's theory again. Good breeding is
Good
better than good
breeding,
feeding. I'm
better than
telling you,
good
there's
feeding.
people that I know. Like I remember back in school, there'd be this girl who could do the bleep test, and I'm telling you, she would eat a box of fags every day.
What's the beep test?
You know the running back and forth,
Oh, yeah.
and then it beeps, and you have to make it back in time, and it speeds up every time.
Oh, I don't think I've ever done that.
I think you blocked it out because of trauma, because I did for a long time. It was
Justine, take off your waistcoat. It's restricting your breathing. I need it. I need it to look slim.
yeah, basically that was me. Jesus, I was.
We're gonna do swim a lap. Justine, please take off the waistcoat. You don't need to wear it over your swimsuit. I was in France
Oh yeah.
and it was lovely.
What's the weather like? Good.
The weather was nice enough. It was kind of similar to here, but a few things annoy me. Oh,
loved
like I kind of really respect French waiters.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we were filming a thing and
Were
there's
they rude?
two. Oh, incredibly. But to the point where like you respect them for their rudeness. So we were filming a thing and there's 2 Northern Ireland women, and it was a really nice restaurant. And she was like, hello, how's it going? Yeah, I'm going to have the steak. And I was just wondering, there's no vegetables with the steak. I was wondering, could I just get like some maybe mushrooms? And he was like, no. It's like, okay. Well, it says that there's mashed potato. I was wondering, could I get the potato gratin that's on the other? And he goes, no. She was like, okay. And that was it.
Oh
It was
my
just
God.
like everything she said. He came over to me and I was like, I'll get the duck. And he goes, like, Grant. And he comes back 5 minutes later and he goes, just so you know, the duck is very rouge. It is, it's bloody, it's
rouge.
cooked, it's raw, it's quite raw.
Oh, good
And
Lord.
he was like, that cool. And I was like, well, is it nice? Like, is it nice? And he was like, it's excellent. And I was like, okay, well, like, I trust you. I trust the way, like, can you actually cook it longer? And he goes, yeah, we can, but we will not. And I was like, sound. I came out and it was like chewing on a shoe. It was rotten. I was just jealous of everyone else's meal.
Stop.
And he came over to me. He was like, is the duck fine? I was like, it's lovely. Oh, I love it so much. Thanks very much. I particularly like just how sore my jaw is from chewing it. Annoying thing I found in airports. Have you ever done priority boarding?
No, because I always laugh when you do, because then they board the people in non-priority first anyway, which I adore.
Oh,
You
like,
see all these business wankers standing up with their suitcases.
see, it was paid for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go see what this crack is priority. All it is you're just queuing longer.
No, truly.
Like you get to I was at the front of the queue and I waited for like 20, 30 minutes. Then they got me at the plane. So I'm standing at the plane for another 15 minutes. Whereas normally I hang back and sit down. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
just
and
wait
you
until
watch.
you wait until we're all getting in the same boat,
Yeah.
lads. Plain boat.
You're watching these fuckers.
And as well, you know the turnstile where you're collecting your bags?
Yeah.
I hate how people stand like right next to it. So you can't see your bag. And they're like bears at a river trying to catch salmon. You're like, lads, just can we all sit back 4 feet?
Yeah, I know.
And then we can all see it. It's really annoying.
I will always try to not have luggage. Always, because I can't stand that experience.
Traveling nudie on a flight is unreal.
Oh my God. Like, I mean,
You're booking your hand in a coffee. Oh,
No, I mean, I will do that rather than booking a suitcase. Sorry,
Yeah.
I mean, I just have my hand luggage.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, but I've travelled where like you're not carrying anything and it's amazing.
Oh, that's a dream, but like that's rare for a woman to be
But
able
I can
to do
like
that.
people slag off Taylor Swift for like jet setting all over the world in a big jet. It's like you can kind of understand. There's no way she's gonna be standing waiting
Waiting
for
for
her
bags.
bags.
But
like
I don't
a
think
bollocks.
she necessarily would have to do that anyway.
Probably get a young lad to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems a bit unnecessary to
Swifties.
have. Yeah, you wouldn't have to pay them. It seems a bit unnecessary to have a whole plane just for yourself now.
Yeah. No, that's really daft.
I don't understand the protesters that just paint. I don't know where she landed yesterday, and they broke in and painted. I'm like, what's this achieving though? Really, it actually looked nice.
I'm okay. I'm okay with them protesting. I'm okay with like Just Stop Oil painting Taylor Swift's big expensive gas guzzling jet.
Yeah.
I don't like when they're like doing it on a lovely painting
Yeah,
or like a
the soup and porridge, and you're like, oh,
what was the Stonehenge? The painted Stonehenge.
stop. I
You're
thought
like,
it was.
do you think like big oil companies are going like, oh, Stonehenge, they got Stonehenge. I love Stonehenge. Or they're in the Louvre. Oh, I love art. No, these men love nothing but money.
Money, yeah.
Attack a bank or attack Taylor Swift's plane. I'm okay with that.
I wouldn't. I just would rather you attacked it in a way. Like, obviously, you don't have a lot of time in those scenarios, I suppose.
Paint a big
but
willy on it.
I would be like, write the price that's or the amount of
Yeah.
that's been put a bit of info on there. I really don't like the art museum ones because I'm like the painter who did that didn't even know what oil was probably.
Yeah.
and you're
And also
ruining
the
his
people who
work.
enjoy it are not like,
They're not the problem.
they're not the problem.
No, it's very upsetting that I don't know. There's some protest things that I'm like, I think you're coming. You know the one. It was in the middle of a play with Jeremy Strong. These people just stood up,
Yeah.
and you can see him on stage.
But that's it. You're attacking the arts.
What do you- yeah.
You're attacking stuff that like liberals like.
It's completely like going backwards.
Attack stuff that like diehard conservatives like.
Golf courses. Just go to golf courses.
Golf courses, big, massive fields dedicated to men playing the biggest game of pool known to man.
Yeah. Go
Golf
there.
is silly, man.
I don't understand. And I tell you, there's a real issue with lads. The second they hit 30, it's either they turn to golf or they're running mini marathons.
Yeah, I haven't done either.
That's great. This is why your doctor saying you're in great shape, because that is like the beginning of the end in my mind. They just spawn up overnight, these golf players. I'm like, where did my friends go?
Yeah.
These lads just want to play golf for 4 hours. I'm like, this isn't.
It is the silliest game. It's a game designed to just be away from your wife.
Oh, totally.
You're like, I'm going to knock
Off
this
for the
ball
day.
500 yards into a hole over there. You're like, that's going to take ages. Yeah, I know.
That's the
I know.
point.
I'm going to be here for 6 hours.
I can't. I've dated too many guys that literally the amount of golf trips they went away on, weekends away. Should I be reading into that? Probably, but I won't. It's not about me. They just wanted time away with the boys.
It's like saying, I'm going to play a game of darts, but I'm going to move the dartboard. I'm half a mile away. I'm going to do it in 4. I'm going to get in 4, lads.
I do love the golf cart though. I do think that's a fun little thing. But I would just go somewhere and drive that for the day.
Or just do bumper cars, Justine.
And I don't understand the amount of lads that go business trips to like, oh, come for the golf. Why?
Yeah, it's boring.
Meet me for a pint and we'll talk about it.
I think most activities past 30 are just, same with stags and hens, they're just excuses built around drinking. But like, you can't just say you're going drinking. It's like, oh, we're doing nude painting. We're going to do nude painting and then we're going to drink. Okay. Do you enjoy nude painting? No, I just don't want to say we're going drinking all
Never
day.
the behind somebody. Yeah. No, I just, there's something about golf and I would have exercise. I would have been like, oh, it's just great exercise and that. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of walking in it, but
then not unless you get a fucking car.
that beer belly is going
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah, Trump loves golf. Famously fit-looking man.
Oh, Jesus. It's.
Um,
I hope I never, ever turn to golf. I don't think it's not something you see as many women getting into either anyway.
No. It's
As
not a good
much.
look. Like
No.
the clothes for women are not flattering at all. For
No,
golfing.
or and like again, the warning signs are all there. I remember being on one of my ex's phone and his whole For You page was just gorgeous women hitting golf balls.
I mean, it is kind of hot.
It is pretty hot. I was like,
Good swing. Get that swing going, baby.
I'm useless. I remember going to a range once with one of the fellas. I think he might have dumped me over that because I was just painfully bad.
I cannot be with a woman who's not good at golf.
I just can't grasp it at all. Even like mini golf or crazy golf, nah.
I thought you'd love crazy golf.
Oh, I enjoy it, but I'm terrible at it.
Big old windmill,
Yeah.
monkey going like that.
I remember when I was doing late, the Valentine's special, there was one of the guys who was big into golf and he said his first date idea would be mini golf.
Was this like a blind date kind of thing?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I had to come up with some lines and I was talking that day to Martin and Golo about it and what he said was the line. He's like, and he really enjoys crazy golf. And he's like, it won't be the first time he's had his balls in a clown's mouth.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I can't say that. He's like, I'll fucking pay you if you do. I couldn't. I didn't. But
That's
my
such a
God,
funny
it's
line.
so good.
Lovely stuff.
This show is part of HeadStuff Podcasts. Here's another show you might like.
I Know That Face is a movie podcast on the HeadStuff Podcast Network, hosted by me, Stephen Porzio.
And me, Andrew Carroll. Our show is all about character actors. The type of performers you'll see pop up in supporting roles in blockbusters. The type of people you know the faces but not the names.
Each episode we pick one particular character actor and discuss a couple of their movies, shining a light on the performer's career while giving listeners plenty of movie recommendations. So the show is a must for cinema lovers.
Subscribe to I Know That Face wherever you get podcasts and follow us on Twitter at I Know That Face P1.
Why would you allow a 12-year-old to decide they can pick a name? That's never going to end well.
I mean, it's probably the only bit of crack involved with the confirmation process, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't used any of my holy gifts.
No. Who was it that asked me recently what was my confirmation name? I was like, why the fuck do you care?
I think this is the culture version of like, what school did you go to?
Yeah, honestly.
Like, the amount of times you have conversations with Southsides and they're like, what school did you go to? And I was like, what?
I know.
And
What's that about?
It's like, I went to like Mahon Community School. I think but then it's obviously because they went to a good one and they went
what do
to
they call it? The Ivy League. It's kind of that
Ivy
equivalent.
League.
It's that kind of equivalent in Dublin.
Clongowes is the big one, isn't it?
Clongowes.
Wesley, was that a school or was that a rugby club?
That was a rugby club and it was a nightclub thing. And people were like, oh, we at Wes at the weekend.
I remember coming home from first year college and I was staying with my friend Anya and they were like, have you seen the newspaper? And it was all the crack of what was going on in the Wes nightclubs. All these teenagers doing awful sex acts and like the newspaper's front page headlines.
Now, I think I would put that down to Joe Duffy because I remember being home one weekend in the midst of all that,
I
and
mean, he was there.
he was right.
Are you, Justine? This is an exclusive. Are you accusing Joe Duffy of pressuring teenagers into snowballs? That's a
an exclusive.
That's a huge accusation to make. And Joe Duffy,
Allegedly.
can I just say, Joe Duffy is not here to defend himself. But I mean, you can fact check it yourselves. But Justine Stafford, what a bomb to drop on this pod.
He was on the radio, and people were phoning in about it, all the crack going on. And basically, I came home one weekend,
And the snowballs. What would the snowball be? Oh wow, that sounds disgusting. That doesn't sound very hygienic at all.
oh god!
And they'd be swapping them with other lads, would they? Oh. And would the lads be upset when they taste the seed of another gentleman?
Oh my god! But I came home one weekend and my grandaunt was there. She's like, "Oh, I know now what's going on. All the fingering and that." And she had learned all these terms
Oh
from
my
Joe
God.
Duffy.
The shocker. You used to be giving each other shockers, would you? Huh. You don't go up there to dance anyway.
Oh, you tapping them now? What?
I tell you something. I got a shocker reading it.
She was like fingering and then she at one point said to me, she's like, "Keep your pussy covered and you'll be all right." That was her advice to me. God. Yeah, this 80-something-year-old woman, and I was with my friend Megan at the time, and at that time, like, we were 15, I'd say, and my friend Megan was like, "My God, she's my idol." I'm like, "She is a hero. She's a fucking hero of a woman." She's 94 now, and like at Christmas I asked her, "Have you any like life advice?" She was like, "Don't give a fuck about anyone and mind your own business and have a glass of Jameson whenever you can."
Wow.
And, yeah, solid life advice. And Jameson sent her out a big bottle of
She was
whiskey.
arrested, wasn't she?
A few times now, but it was a misunderstanding. She meant well. She meant
That's
well.
some solid advice.
But I'm telling you, Joe Duffy is the problem sometimes. He's giving all the people information that they don't need to know anything about.
Yeah. I mean, that's really a private issue between the parents and the teenagers and maybe the people who run the WES. There's no need
There's
for
a lot of people actually involved.
there's no
really.
need for the entire country to know the details of what was going on there.
It was like normal people all over again when that.
Oh my God,
that
normal
was
people
insane.
was like songs of praise compared to what was going on in the WES.
I can't believe it was front of the papers. See, I was only allowed to go to 2 teenage discos in my life. One was the Junior Set Results Night. And then there was like a Christmas one because my mother was like, "No, you're not going to discos till you're 17. And then when I was 17, she'd let me go to senior discos, which I don't really understand the logic of there. But do you know what? When I went to the junior one, it was an eye-opener. Junior discos were way worse. And I think it was like this, I don't know if it was like an element of like, this is our little chance of freedom for the first time. I saw babies conceived. Like more arses than a fucking hospital maternity ward.
Oh my God. I suppose, yeah, because you're not really, there's no drink been served. So what's your vice?
Well, no, people would go in hammered. They'd have naggins
Yeah,
in them
you'd have
before they go
naggins
in.
in on the bus.
Yeah,
What
well,
do
I
you do
didn't.
once you're in there?
Well, no, I didn't. I was the most innocent, harmless. Didn't drink till I was 18 because it would kill brain cells, and I was such a nerd. And I went in there, and my eyes were opened, and I had this big, huge belt. Like if you saw a picture of me, it looked like a big, huge chastity belt. It was very funny.
Like a WWE.
Genuinely that size. I'm not even exaggerating. It was huge.
Wow.
I was like the title holder of virginity. That was pretty much what I was getting. But
World heavyweight virgin.
Lovely stuff.
Did you see in the news that the organisers during the Olympics have built anti-sex beds
no,
so that the Olympic people aren't having sex with each other?
I have a few questions there. How bad was the riding epidemic
How bad was the ride?
that they had to instill
Lads, we need
this?
to do something about this. We need to build special beds.
But also, of all the people to be reproducing, should we not be getting the athletes?
Also,
do
yeah,
that?
also televise it, I think. Like there are no, these are the fittest, most strongest, sinewy bunch of people and very beautiful people on the planet. Like if anyone should be having sex, it's them.
It's kind of.
Televise it, charge, obviously that with their consent.
Oh yeah.
They'd have to sign a form. But televise that, like, I'm not big into sports, but I'd watch sports sex 100%.
Oh yeah, but like then
Think of the like crazy moves they could do.
it. Yeah, what a finisher!
What a finisher. Yeah, you need a commentator.
You
need a
would.
commentator.
You need that on it. That would
Micheál
really
Murthy.
And we watch now as gold-winning medalist Simone Biles lift her opponent Joe Kovacs up above her gown and effortlessly rolls into a 69. And she's now moving into a reverse cowgirl, and the judges have to be impressed by that.
That's very, very popular with the judges there.
my God.
That's high numbers. That's a high score there.
But that, like, I just don't understand how bad was the riding. Like, it's kind of like the Gaeltacht.
Was it
times a
spilling
million.
out into the hallway? Like, was it happening in the mess hall?
Yeah.
During
Just before they
breakfast?
go, yeah.
You're trying to get your yogurt in the morning. You're here, lads. We fucking move over a
This
bit,
yogurt
please.
at all. This tastes very like
Very salty yogurt.
very salty yogurt. Like, how bad? But like, how is
How
that also
bad
affecting
was
things? Like, our team's coming home being like, oh, we could have got gold had fucking Jimmy here not given head the night before.
Well, I know in Rocky, I think it was Rocky.
Which is, yeah, very
that's all I know
equatable.
of sport.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you tell them, like, don't have sex before a fight. Isn't that a thing? Like, you don't have sex before a fight.
It's mad.
You keep your energy pent up because you're too relaxed after it, and you're like, come here. Like, to be
Right.
honest, running 100 yards after sex, just like, absolutely not.
But you know what? I'd be more in the team of, oh God, thank God I've that out of the way now because I couldn't focus on anything else. I'm in heat, like, and it's, you know, like, honest to Jesus, it's a distraction to
No,
me.
I do see the point. I think you need to keep them
Head in the game.
in heat. Keep them like they're full of energy.
I don't think that's any way to live. That's not my Olympics.
Well, in a perfect world, Justine, you'd have very, very slow Olympians.
Yeah.
They'd be very happy, very doddery, slow. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, no, I'm heading off now.
The whole team are dressed in waistcoats. Strange. But also, what the fuck is an anti-sex bed?
So it's a bed made, I think, out of cardboard boxes. So you can lie on it
Yeah.
comfortably. It's a mattress on top of it, obviously.
Yeah.
You can lie on it, but if you jump up and down it, you
You're
would
getting
break
nothing. Now, I think the problem with me is I'd look at it going, I'll find a way. Like, I'd find the fun in trying to figure out how can we ride here without breaking the bed.
These are not lazy lovers. These are people with huge strength.
Stamina.
They can lift somebody up against the wall.
Exactly.
They could probably do it in the ceiling if they wanted.
I don't think the bed was ever, there's a floor. I don't think the
No.
bed was the issue for
No,
people
you're not going to
riding.
get two Olympians going like, oh, I'd love to have sex, but the
bed.
bed doesn't work.
Well, the showers are there, but I mean...
Shower, put a towel on the floor.
Yeah. Honest to God. I don't know where they're thinking. I think, to me, doing that would just make me more determined of, I'm going to ride now. I'll show them.
100%. Hang off that chandelier there.
The bathroom, the toilets, sure, grand.
Yeah, there's loads of options.
I don't know now. I have an issue with, like, I'm not into lads with six packs or anything like that. I just think, I look at them and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, our bodies aren't meant to be together. You're like a model there now. This doesn't make sense. You know, like when I was in Bali, did I tell you that about, like, they were all like Love Island contestants.
Way, really.
And I was on the
I
beach.
don't know what noise I made there. I went way. It wasn't excitement. It was like, wow. But it turned into a way. I think it was no way mixed with a wow, and I just went way.
No way. But probably taking a lot of whey or whatever fucking whey powder they use for protein. But anyway, one of the nights, I had a few pints in me, and I went up to one of these fellas. I was like, would you like... No, sorry, just for context. On the strip in Bali, they have a gym 24/7 they're going because all these people are in there. I seen so many photo shoots of men taking pictures of their male friends on the beaches and be
Yeah.
like, no man, go back again, and like putting it in the sand, him having to pose. I'm like, what is this
Wow.
universe I'm in? There was like signs for proposals. A lot of people go out there and get married or propose rather. And there was like these signs for ads that they'll be like, we'll come and shoot your proposal. We'll come back the next day and recreate it with you. And like this whole fake Insta, all the like...
Instagram has ruined it.
It has all the coffee shops are even called things like link in bio and this type of shite. And you're like, a load of like influencers and yoga gym people moved out there in lockdown, and I feel sorry for the locals.
So boring.
It was heartbreaking. Like you go into any like cafe and all you can get is like egg white omelets because that's what the fucking gym bunnies and all are onto, right? But they were all around me, and like two of my friends that I was with had put on fake tan, built up a tan before we left Ireland. I didn't know that was what one does.
Yeah,
So
you didn't put on a primer.
Did I fuck? I was like, I'm here to get the tan. What am I doing tanning before I go?
Makes no sense.
I don't tan anyway, but I look like an absolute boiled ham compared to everyone else on the beach. So it was a bad start, but literally I had a few pints in me this one night, and like the fake teeth, like you'd be blinded looking at them.
Yeah.
And I went up to this one lad, I was like, would you ever fuck up? Like, look at you there. Look, you're beautiful. What are you doing here? And then he just turned to me and goes, you're beautiful in your own way. Oh. And I was like, would you ever fuck up? But I never felt so insulted, but also I'm not attracted to that. I'm really not. That guy, I have more fucking hair on my left nipple than this lad does in his whole chest because he's fucking waxing it every day.
Yeah. Do you think as well you'd be considered nearly exotic?
You would think.
I love that white pasty
You know
pink
what?
girl.
I remember I was in Thailand a couple of years back and there was a lot of that. People were, and when I was in South Korea when I was like 15, people wanted to get photos with you because you had red hair and you were pale and they were like, this is something we never see.
You are a freak to us.
Yeah.
I love you.
You're an alien. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. What does that mean in your language? It's probably a beautiful woman or something, is it? It's like, no, you're a literal alien. I don't think... Unfortunately, I think those people want people that are the same, that are like the gym bunnies. That
Yeah, but
are
I mean,
the
if
same.
everyone's doing the same thing, it's just so boring.
It was so grim.
Like if everyone's Instagram profile looks like Fabio, it's the only
entirely,
Muslim man I could think of. From 1994. But yeah, it's so boring. Like
There's no crack with them either because they don't drink. They're always like, I can't drink because I have to have
of course
a good diet. All this crap.
Them lads aren't doing a bang bang.
They're no.
They're not going for a burrito and then Charlie's after it. They're like, no, let's have some egg white, some kale.
What's that?
Like I do remember somebody put up a thing on Twitter. I was a young fella and he was like, how is it that in every movie of a nightclub scene, everyone just looks like a big sweaty mess having a great time and nobody taking phones? And then this girl underneath was like, that's what nightclubs were like. Like nightclubs were such a sweaty, messy pit. It was like, you know, in Matrix Reloaded, where they're all in Zion and they're just covered in like muck. Just covered in muck and sweat. And they're just like, you can see like nipples and like sweaty hair, and everyone looks like they've just been given birth to, and they're having a great time because nobody was taking photos.
No,
nobody's wearing makeup.
Jesus, I mean, come that point of the night as well, it was gone.
It's gone,
melted away. Like
everyone looked like the Joker, just like makeup rolling down their face. Or like girls just go into the bathroom and just wash it all off.
That, but if you went to like a foam party or something, now you're destroyed. Your face was gone.
Like those clothes are ruined.
Oh, completely. But they were a simpler time.
But I do think.
Were you a big nightclub goer?
So when I was like 16, 17, we would have went to nightclubs. Yeah. Most weekends.
Yeah.
And then when I got older, when you moved to Dublin, it's a different kind of nightclub. Mm-hmm.
That's where you found Fibbers and fell in love, I would say.
Fibbers, that was like moshing. Yeah. That was just like moshing.
It feels more your cup of tea now.
Yeah. Well, I just prefer the music, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're at Fibbers, just getting like, there was like half naked men just like slapping their boobs in your face. Or like you just get an armpit right on your ear. Or like a rat tail, lads doing helicopters with their hair, long hair, just getting like sweaty, wet rat tails in your mouth. But you didn't care.
I saw a really good thing the other day. I was like, it's so true. It was like, say the thing. It was like a video, and someone's response was, hard metal fans are lovely people cosplaying as like dickheads, and hippies are dickheads cosplaying as lovely people. I was like, that's so true.
That's really good.
It's so accurate though. Any like hard metal fan you meet is the loveliest
fella.
Absolute pure soul. And then you meet these hippies that are all about kind of like, it's all about the look and the idea that they're projecting. And
using
that's
therapy
not,
speak.
Yeah.
I'm actually focusing on me right now.
Yeah, I think that barista was gaslighting you because he said that they don't have oat milk, and I think they...
Do you remember the episode of Simpsons when everyone becomes like Bart be like the boy.
Yeah.
That's how we live now.
Yeah.
Everyone is like, I'm actually just looking after myself right now.
It's gone a bit, I don't know. At some point, I think it'll find a balance. But like, honestly, it was an eye-opener to me when I went to Bali last year of like, is this the next wave of generations? I'm like, this is so grim.
Yeah.
This is not what I want to be a part of. And I really, even the way they treated locals pissed me off so much.
Really?
And like before I went, a guy I know had like recommended a taxi man to me. He was like, because they make so little money that they would love to have one person that they'll wait around all day or like hang out with
my
you.
God.
And if you give them €20, that'd be more than they would have made
in
in
night.
a day trying
Right.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
other things. So
Like a private driver.
yeah, which felt weird to me. And like we'd be driving like 2.5 hours and we'd be chatting. He was the loveliest, and he fought. I'm telling you, Kevin.
Driver, we're doing a bang bang. So I want you to wait outside my restaurant. I'm going to get sick after it. And then I'm going to go to a different restaurant. Thank you, driver. By the way, I've got some fertilizer bags. I'm going to line the bottom of your car because I will be getting sick. It's a bang bang, driver.
You're probably well used to this by now. So like
I'll bring you back some prawn crackers.
when I was there, like, oh my God, like literally, Kevin, every single thing I post on Instagram, he likes and interacts with. Like the video of us even
driver.
last week, and I'm like, I adore you. Like he's there liking.
He's probably listening to this.
I hope he
right
is,
now.
because he was like, what are you going home to do? And I was like saying, oh, at that point I was looking at a radio thing in LMFM I was thinking of doing, and he was like, I'll be listening in. I'm like, how will you find Loud Mead radio in Bali? I'm intrigued, but I don't doubt you.
Yeah.
But like I'm looking at him watching my creepy uncle videos. I'm like, what must he think? And he's there just supporting away, and he's like, I hope someday I can welcome you back to Bali. And I hadn't the heart to tell him I don't think I'd go back.
Never come back to Bali.
I would for the locals. They were amazing, gorgeous people. But if that influx keeps going on,
So it's been ruined.
like,
by
honest to God,
influencers.
it's gotten so. It was actually a bit sad. And then thank God, I was going to Vietnam after that, and that was class, and that is like really untouched.
So everyone looks great, but their behaviour is awful.
And
I had a thing.
There's no local cuisine, like as in that's eradicated a lot of places now because
Right.
they're doing the influencer foods.
I had a thing the other day. I was having an argument with a friend, and he started using like therapy speak. So then he was like, I spoke to my therapist. My therapist says that I need this from you, and you're not giving me this. So I spoke to my therapist, and I was like, what do I say back to this? And then after, I was like, we should just get our therapists together, like two solicitors.
It's like two parents.
Yeah,
Or
no,
just
it's like two
yeah,
solicitors.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, so my client says this, and we're, well, hold on a second, and just let the therapist battle it out.
That's genius.
Yeah.
That's the future. It
I
should
think
be.
that is totally the future.
Why is that not already happening?
I'm making it happen.
Honest to God.
Next time I
use-
have an argument with a friend and they try and therapy speak me, I'm like, actually, you'll have to talk to my
Get your
therapist.
therapist in the room here.
Get your therapist on the line. €70 an hour.
Honest to God, why have
How important?
therapists
Like,
not
how
even
important?
consider this?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
a
genius.
good move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
I'd find there's a service alone, right? And I wanted to sign up for it. It's like you call the elderly,
Yeah.
and you're just there for them. But the thing is, and maybe I'm a bit of a bollocks here, you have to guarantee you'll do it for a full year. And I'm like, that's a big commitment.
That's a big commitment.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, would you not be happy to have me for 3 months? And then I head off. Because like I can't commit to that. I couldn't commit to a fella for that length of
Yeah.
time. It's crazy, but I
I
understand.
couldn't commit to Netflix for that long.
No. I want to try, but like I think it's for them. They're like, we've trained you. We don't want to be wasting our time training you. So it
That's
makes
fair
sense.
enough,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
also, would you not rather have me for a little while than not at all?
I really like the idea of it, and that's kind of like, it's like the Big Brother thing, but just for old people. And I love the idea of it. And I was like, I'm going to do that. But then I didn't do it because I just felt lovely just thinking that I would.
That was enough for you.
Like, that was enough for me.
Wow.
I got
You're
enough.
such a good person.
I got enough.
to have thought about doing that.
I got enough. Yeah, exactly. I was like, God, I'm such a good person for even considering this. I'm not going to do
Oh
it.
my God.
But like, I really enjoyed the good feeling it gave me.
But like, I'm an awful fool. No, I'm not a fool, but like, one day I was in Lidl and there was an old man going around the aisles with a laptop bag, and he couldn't open the laptop bag, and it made no sense why he had a laptop bag there anyway. And I was observing him for a bit, and I waited, and I'd done the whole round. I'd got my shop, and I left my bag at the end of the shelves where
Is
they
he
have it.
shopping with the laptop bag?
But he couldn't. That's what I couldn't figure out. I was mesmerised, but also he couldn't open the fucking thing.
So what foods are you buying that would fit? Maybe like a pepper sauce packet. I'm trying to think, what's a magazine? Not even a cup of soup, but yeah, it's like a sort
a
of
sachet, a single sachet
I'm mostly
of
buying
soup.
sachets, to be honest, lads. I'm just doing my sachet run.
Imagine imagine, you know the way in like movies they like, open the briefcase, it's full of like dollars. You're like full of soup. You're like, okay. But I had to. I was like, I'd done my whole round of shop and I'd bought everything. I left it in the corner. I was like, he's still there in this whole amount of time trying to open that bag. Wow. I was like, how do I approach this now? Because I don't want to make him feel silly. So I went up to him and I was like, you're struggling, are you?
Oh, that's good.
I went pure country on it. I was like, I took a risk because this is in Dublin on Parnell Street. And I was like, he mightn't be from the country.
I feel like 80% of old people in Dublin are from the country.
Do you know what? They are. So anyway, I was like, you're struggling, are you? And he goes, I am. And he was,
Jeez, I am.
Jeez, I am. He's like, can't open this fucking bag, right? And I just was like, I'll just give us a look there, we'll have a look at it. And
So them bags are here, all together here. They make the zip far too small. I find, you're a lovely girl.
So anyway, I literally just opened it. He's like, how did you do that? And I was like, I was, but you know, you don't want to make them, so I'm like, here, they're tricky yolks all together. I don't know what they'd be thinking. So I'm like telling him, reassuring him that it's not on him. But anyway, we got the bag open then, and then it was like,
just filled with porn. Like really bad porn.
Really bad stuff. Like we're talking animals, we're talking, but
Men
anyway.
with cars.
But then he was like,
exhaust daddy.
But then he had to do clitty bang bang. Sorry, I had to come up with one. I had to.
Very
there
good.
it is. Okay, so then I
would have went with shitty clitty gangbang.
Shitty clitty bang. Are either of those a film? I would love to know. Are they a porn film?
I don't want to have my search history
I don't
with
want
those
that.
terms.
Yeah, I don't need that. I'll do it in a public library somewhere. I'll check it out. Anyway, so he had to do a bit of shopping. So I was like, oh, sure, I'll help you do that. So we got the few bits. And then we're paying at the till. And he was from Kerry, but had lived in Dublin for years. And he was big into the Mead team. And he was talking about Colin O'Rourke just taking over. And we were discussing, what do you think? Would he be a good manager or not? Oh, Jesus.
This was the highlight of his year.
I think, no. So then at the end, we're buying his things and going through. And then he's saying, it's been tough now since the wife died. I was like, oh, you're killing me. And he's like, he gets to the bus. I walked from my shopping to the bus. He was going back down the country. I'm like, why did you come to Dublin to go to Lidl? But anyway, then while we're walking to the bus, he turns to me, what time now will you finish the work? And I'm like, he thought I was a staff member. And I just played along because I was like, I'm not going to, because it made him feel less like this random or...
I don't think you would have upset him if he was just like, I'm just a friendly person.
But I love that he thinks the service in Lidl is, we
unbelievable.
will.
Them Germans, man. It's a hell of a customer service they provide there in Lidl.
Help you do the shop and walk you to you. Like,
I had a
Jesus.
very different incident with an old man once.
Oh no.
So it was the day after Paddy's Day, or maybe 2 days after Paddy's Day. And I was getting a bus home from Phibsborough to Cavan.
Oh, lovely. Oh, did you get to church there?
Yeah.
I used to live there, my
yeah.
God.
So I'm at the church. I think I've got headphones on. And this old man comes up beside me and he says, did the bus arrive yet? And I said, no.
What do you think? I'm right here.
I'm not on it. I would be on it. And you would not be talking to me if the bus had arrived.
Oh, I love that.
And he was like, you're heading home, are you? And I said, I am, yeah. I'm just getting the 109, I think it was called. Good lad. And he sort of patted me on the back and then on the arse.
Oh, no.
And then I was like,
Oh, no.
all right, that was a bit odd. That was a bit odd.
no.
Maybe, but look at, sometimes old men will be a little bit overfamiliar and like they'll grab your knee at a wedding.
Yeah.
Say, you're a great lad.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a great lad. You're fine. And they just grab your knee hard and that's fine. There's nothing sexual about that.
No.
And I was like, maybe he just grabs arses instead of knees. And he said, have you a wife? And I was about 23 at this stage. And I said, oh, no, I'm a long way off that. Ha, 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 ha. And he laughed along with me and then went for the arse again.
No.
But I was ready for him.
Yeah.
So I did like a sort of a karate move away.
Yeah.
I was, and I got him away.
Reverse Uno.
And then I didn't know what to do then.
Jesus
and I
Christ.
just said...
You're stuck there.
Stuck
That's
there.
the bus stop.
And I just said, did you have a good Paddy's Day? And he said, I'll be honest with you, I just stayed at home and I got rotten drunk. And I was like,
no.
oh yeah, it's similar enough to me. I suppose I just did it in town with friends. And then I just, out of nervousness, I was just thinking in my head, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? He's after grabbing my arse. What is it? Am I molested now? Am I a molester? Am I a molestee? Is he a molester?
Lord.
do I need to call somebody about this?
Are you going to jail?
So I just kept talking and I just kept talking and kept talking. And he just cut me off and he just said, oh, look, I'm going home. And he just walked off. And he wasn't getting the bus at all.
No.
So he just...
Oh my God.
And it made me so sad. I was like, it was so sad that for an entire generation of confused men,
oh my God.
the only way they could get a bit of action is just chancing their fucking arm at bus stops.
Yeah.
Just
my
on the
God.
off chance I might find somebody who's into this.
Jesus
Like there's no
Christ.
clubs for old men.
Was he a local? Like, was he?
He clearly lived locally, yeah.
Oh God. Jesus Christ, that's so grim.
I was like molested as a 23-year-old man.
No, at the bus on the 109, of all the buses to have to sit through after that, Kevin, my God, I'd jump in front of it. That bus on its own is a struggle.
Yeah, it's a sad
Never
bus.
mind getting molested before you get onto it.
Lovely stuff.
Well, I think that's probably enough time.
I'd say that's enough. You have to go and catch a bus.
Yeah, and you're probably sick listening to us now at this
is
stage.
it now.
You have stuff to be doing yourself. Hope the drive is going well,
Yeah,
or you might be doing a bit of washing up.
yeah. You're just distracting yourself from the pain of reality and existence.
That's it.
Yeah,
Hope this has been a nice
just,
distraction from
yeah.
the pain of life. My name is Kevin McGarren.
I'm Justine Stafford.
This episode is produced by Hilary.
Yes,
What's her second name?
Hilary, producer.
Hilary, the producer. She's like Cher. She only has one name.
Oh, completely.
The theme tune is provided by Damo Dagger.
There you go.
And you can get this on HeadStuff if you're not already listening to it.
You can.
Also, there's bonus content and loads of other
I love the idea
amazing,
of someone just
amazing
stumbling into the
HeadStuff
middle
shows.
of this podcast and having no idea how they've gotten here.
Again, you've no idea how podcasts work.
Love that.
Thank you guys.
Good luck.
Bye.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.